Okay, these are called the steps to financial success. So these are things that you're going to want to do in your lifetime. This is not isolated to when you are an adult. You can start doing this even now. Step one of being financially successful is to assess your financial situation. So you're going to want to write that in your journal. Step one is to assess your financial situation. So this means to assess your income, your assets, your liabilities. What that means is, what money do you have coming in, if any, right now? But you will later. Assess your assets. What things do you own that have value? Most of you at 16 or 17, it will be a car. As you get older, it'll be cars and homes and stocks and things of that nature. And lastly, what are your liabilities? Meaning, what do you have to pay out each month? What kind of bills do you have? So step one is assess your financial situation. Step two is set money goals. You need to have a mix of short-term and long-term goals. When you have money, if you don't tell it what to do, it will be gone. You have to set goals for your money, or else you will just frivolously spend it. Those goals must be long-term and short-term. Long-term for you can be next year. Short-term for you could be next month. As you get older and you're more an adult and you're bringing in more money and you have more assets and more liabilities, your long-term and short-term get farther away. So for example, I am 29 years old. My long-term goals are now pretty much like in the next 10 years. My short-term goals are within the next year to 5 years. Okay, so as you get older, those money goals change. But they have to be a mix of short-term and long-term, because we know you're going to spend money in the short term. So if you only make long-term goals, then you're lying to yourself. So step one, assess your situation. Step two, make some goals for that situation. Step three, you must write out a detailed plan for accomplishing your goals. And this begins with your budget. So now that you've set those goals, now that you've decided you have these goals, it is your job to now make a budget to meet these goals. It's wonderful to say, I'd love to have $1,000 saved up in 12 months, but how in the heck are you actually going to do that? You have to have a plan. Without a plan, you will fail. Pizza parties will come up. Shopping on Amazon will happen. Buying music on iTunes or whatever it is that you do will take over if you don't have a plan. Step four, once you have the plan, you should execute the plan. This involves discipline and perseverance. It is not easy to execute the plan. It is not easy to stick to the plan. When you want to go do something and you have the money, but the money is going to your plan, it is not easy to do. This involves a lot of discipline. Saying to yourself, no right now, to reach your goals, to be able to say yes later. So execute the plan. Step five, you really need to know your money personality. Are you a spender? Are you a saver? That's super important to know. If you are a spender, you have to be extra diligent to make your plan happen. Because that means you're naturally wanting to spend the money that's in your pocket. If you're a saver, you don't have to work as hard at your plan because you naturally save. However, you might be married to somebody someday who is the opposite of you. When you get married someday, this whole process becomes a little bit more tricky because it's not just you anymore. You might be a saver while your significant other might be a spender. Or maybe you'd both be savers and that would be fantastic. Or maybe both of you will be spenders. And that, my friends, can become a really big problem. Step 6, regularly monitor and change your financial plan. Things change. If you get a raise, that means you're bringing in more money. If you don't change the plan to have a place for that money, what do you think is going to happen to that money? Yeah, you're going to spend it. And probably not on stuff you really need either. So your money plan is never going to be the same. It's going to change and evolve. As you get older and your income changes or your expenses change, things are going to change and evolve. So you have to regularly go back and look at that plan to see how you can change it for the better. Step 7, you need to replace money myths with money truths. What that means is you don't have to believe that just because it's what you've seen in your own parents' household or just because it's what advertised on TV does not make it true. Quotes such as, everyone lives this way, or student loans are fine. You pay low payments forever. Okay, just because you hear it doesn't make it true. Just because your family might believe it doesn't make it true. You have the right to develop your own finances as an individual and an adult. And it doesn't have to look anything like your parents or your families or your best friends or anything like that. So to recap, step 1, you need to look at your financial situation. Step 2, set your money goals, long and short term. Step 3, write out a plan. Step 4, execute plan. Step 5, are you a spender or a saver? Be honest about your money personality. Step 6, change and monitor your plan. And step 7, stop believing in all the myths that are about personal finance.